So you just experienced that you felt emotions toward me, but you have no reason to feel them towards me. And I told you it's because I'm in your eyesight. You have an anger that rises, which is not yet attached to someone. It will enact its natural program. It'll pick the most obvious thing in front of you. So you concentrate on the teacher. Oh, I was so angry at the teacher because he gave that wisdom that brought me to feel that, and it's his fault if I'm this hatred right now. Well, that's because I told you, well, sink down. Go sit at the bottom of your pit, and after a few seconds, go back up. Surrender. Okay? Don't resist sinking down. Go way down. And boom, you touch it, come back up. If you have still process to do, go down and come back up. Okay? Don't do this every day unless you really need it.
You were talking about blame.
Yeah.
And I realized that that's what I was doing. I was blaming you. And it took that break for me to realize.
But yeah, this is why I said, okay, go up. If you stay sitting, if you take a break and still sit in front of the teacher, sometimes you don't have this, okay, I have to concentrate. I'm used to concentrating on this guy dressed in black. He's not there. Okay, what am I going to concentrate on? Okay, here. Now you isolate. You get the time to do your thing. Okay, so I give you these breaks. Okay, why do we perceive in such a limited way? You notice we perceive in a very personal, limited way. And this class is all set up to bring in the wisdom, so you just explain to me that you blame me because of your limited perception of that. Okay? Because now we're going to learn a mantra on perception. What limits your perception? Okay? Pay attention to the fact that you egocentrically take the easiest path. Okay? And you will pay attention because your eyesight in your physical body and your perception, your observation from the level of mind will be extremely focused on just the next thing here. Okay? Instead of having a global perception from all angles. Understand? He's in front of me, I hate him. Okay, I have hate. What makes me hate him? Look at the process that made the hate happen. Well, because I told you go feel it, and I'm in front of you. But this hatred, or whatever the experience you got from inherent, it's just homicide level hatred. I said, why did I have this hatred towards you? I don't have no reason. I'm just so happy you teach me these things. But still it was there. Another proof that whatever you have in your mind, I have to be happy and all is perfect. And I tried to, Ajay told me, I have been trying to convince my mind not to go into hatred. And still it happened. When he did he just, and he hated someone. He was angry at someone. Well, that was very good, Ajay. You try to get your mind not to go into the hatred. You have to go down to the body natural reaction, and from there, not produce the hatred. It's not an intellectual decision. It's an incarnate experience. I will not give permission to my ego to blame someone, not even myself. Become your father. Be authoritative. Hey, enough. Give me time to observe the big picture. Okay? Stop being egocentric. I'm the only one suffering. And it's his fault. When you've been hearing people since the beginning sharing they felt this much suffering, that much suffering. And you have to look, everyone has been experiencing these issues. But you have the small I. You have the limited ego's I. I as in this one. And I as this, the letter I, which is me. You have the limited I am. The limited perception. I'm suffering and it's everyone else's fault. Or it's my fault. But it sure is someone's fault. Mine or other. Not fault. Because you just see the surface and you say, how come I do not see the bigger sheet? How come I do not see the deeper shit? Because the ego's nature is separation. The ego's nature is focused, limited perception. Why? Because this is how we were created out of love, by the way. To go from oneness into individualization, so we could experience individualized love. And because of this wonderful gift of individualization, we become egocentric and we see from one single point of view. Understand this? Of course. Remember the drawing for some people? On an X, Y, and Z line with that three-dimensional plane, we are coordinate. So imagine you had just a flat map. Okay? This is oneness. What you are is a point. You did not stop being the map, but each one of us is a focus on one coordinate. Now, from this flat surface, pull out the third one and go in space, you know? Understand this? So, if we think in X, Y, on flat, you're a coordinate and you have this angle, your angle of view. Okay? If you produce this third dimension, the angle becomes a cone. Okay? Expanded perception is to stretch this angle until it becomes 360 degrees, or expand the cone until it becomes spherical. And in a philosophical way, your perception will accept to see from here towards all angles. And in the same manner, a natural coming back of that, you will be observing from every other place on the map the coordinate you are. So if from your isolated individuality you look at the whole of all things, you'll get an experience when oneness is focused on what you are. And then you say, I am everything. And I experience it from just here. Okay? Breathe. Just for those who like chakras and stuff. Base chakra, Om Namah Sukhanandara. Navel, Om Namah Brahmaswastyaham. It's everywhere, but we do a bit of this here. In the guts, my soul moves me. My generator is in my guts. Om Namah Paramatmanam. Solar plexus, Om Namah Siddhyaroganam. In the heart, truth is an experience of blissful mind. And mind is not just the intellect, it's also the emotional plane. Mind is all that is psyche. Okay? And from there, Om Namah Satchitanandai, wisdom is so extraordinary. And then the bridge from you to the heavens, which is here. From the gut experience incarnate to the higher self. Cho, Om Namah Brahmaikya Hom. And Hom is this chakra, Bija. And the next step is behind the head. And those who do Kujin understand Retsu as perception and dimension. Okay? And you'll love this little mantra that is everywhere. Don't focus the mantra and just focus here. Do the mantra and you'll notice it does something to the back of your head. Okay? The hop. Oh, so perfect. Wonderful. Nama para microphone. So I want to contemplate the idea that there is an I, like the third eye, but out of humility, I won't be so arrogant to put it here. It will be an eye of observation, not somewhere specifically, except not to have a point of view and still observe. Okay? And we call this the big I. And this I that observes is so immense, it is the entire universe paying attention and diligently observing my experience of individualization. Okay? And this immense I, this immense observation feeling that will be from everywhere instead of just from here, I'm paying attention. You'll just let go and there is a paying of attention. And I experience it. And it will purify your center of perception, which is limited in the back of your skull. Okay? I acknowledge Om Nama Maha. There's something immense. Baka. And Baka is the eye, Sanskrit, observing eye. Shiva is the Triyam Bakam, the one with the third eye. The Triyabakai, the one with the third eye. Mahabaka, Ya. Mahabakaya. I have this immense. Okay, I acknowledge that I do have this immense ability of observation. Hrim. Hrim is a bija mantra of purification. Om Namah Mahabakaya Hrim. And you contemplate, observing in the immense way. And you'll notice, the more you do this, in the contemplation of the meaning, and in the contemplation of the higher meaning that I cannot explain to you through words, there's an experience of immensity that observes, and I invoke that and purifies my limited experience, until my limited experience is not limited anymore. Om Namah Mahabakaya Hrim. Om Namah Mahabakaya Hrim. Om Namah Mahabakaya Hrim. Om Namah Mahabakaya Hrim. Or you say it just once in a while, Mahabakaya Hrim. And you just let go of observing from this place here. Stop observing from here and contemplate that there is the experience of observance everywhere. And feel the expansion, and egocentrism will start to fade off. Do it. And I just feel the back of my head pulsing, but I'm not fixing my attention there. There's the big observation principle. Om Namah Mahabakaya Hrim. Om Namah Mahabakaya. Rim. Where from my point I observe the universe, and from the universe there's observation of the point. And the point that I am becoming significant. Even if I am conscious of myself as divine, I remain insignificant. So the rim here, there is an acknowledgement in there of my insignificance, not lack of self-worth. The fact that I don't require worth because it doesn't really matter. Okay? All the importance you put in your point of view and yourself and my little experiences of suffering are not that dramatic, and bang, drama fades away because you decide to observe from a greater angle, the angle of not having an angle. Om Namah Mahabakaya Rim. Om Namah Mahabakaya Rim. And feel the letting go in your mind. You really want, you know, the numbness that we did in our body? Do it with your ego. Numb your point of view. So that great observation will just happen. Then maybe you stop asking me, how do you do that? Seeing all these things. Do it. You'll know. Okay? And this is not instant. It's not instantaneous, okay? But funny enough, it's not that dramatic. It's not that difficult. Okay? Because while you accept, I'm not that important. Okay? It's self-humiliation. I just thought about it. I was preparing you to be humble. It's not beating yourself up. I'm not important. It's not that dramatic. It's not I'm not important. It's whatever I experience is not that important. Okay? I put too much energy in there. Okay? And I know it's gonna sometimes bring up issues because you did put a lot of effort in trying to be important in your life. So this will extremely quickly ease you out of self-importance. Okay? But while the easing out of self-importance happened, well, the suffering it packed into you will just come out. Okay? And just relax it. Okay? You're laughing, he's crying. I mean, it's stuff that happens. Okay? I'm not feeling that well. Carlos, I didn't want to offend you saying you were crying. Okay, okay, thank you. Om Namah Mahabakaya Rim. Okay, so now I'll ask you to identify a moment in your life that you thought you were so great and wonderful. There's nothing bad in there. Look at the point where you wanted the others to say how great and wonderful you are. When you noticed the truth, I am such a great and wonderful experience. That was correct. Okay? That was good. And then you went into a crusade. I'm going to prove it to everyone. Or are you going to expect them to acknowledge it? And look, and this is the fighting. And this is the fighting that Rim awakens. Okay? The refusal of this big observation point. Or non-coordinate. Okay? Self-humiliation is not beating yourself up. It's acknowledging the feeling alone. The feeling abandoned that came because I so wanted to prove to the other how great I was. He actually found me to be arrogant and left away. I wanted them to acknowledge my superiority, they were offended because of their experiences of inferiority, and they pushed me away. You can laugh about yourself, it's okay, it's good. So, as your point of view expands, you're going to have these moments by this practice where great emancipation of self comes. Because you get it, the larger point of view. At other times, you will feel I don't want to say a dramatic word, but your ego finds it dramatic at some times. The self-repressing experience of importance. Okay? Because the way, the divine essence, knows how great it is. And it is through the expression of its greatness that everything came. And then in the ego and the flesh, your cells keep doing what God always did. I'm so great. But then it's done through the point of view of separation. So you're not evil for wanting to be acknowledged as a great person. Okay? But it provoked you to blame out of a crusade. Yeah? So you do have to go back to the humble state of being. When Jesus said, you come into heavens like a child. Okay? Before you started enacting the greatness of what you are. When you were just happily accepting whatever was just there. The obvious instead of the logical. Okay? Well, I have a master's degree, they have to acknowledge my new salary. No. If they do, wonderful. If they don't, you're insignificant. Oh, fuck. I mean, you mean all this work, I went in therapy 10 years to build back my self-esteem? That wasn't the way out. It was an essential step. Nonetheless, a cause of suffering. Okay? You did not waste your time. I spent years with this suffering. Where was this wisdom? You were building raw matter for you to experience enough so it makes sense. You did not waste your time. If you say, I wasted my time, you're saying that the way is not perfect. This is lack of faith. But I don't have faith. You find yourself too important. You don't rely on the divine power. And when I do like this, I also have to go within. But if I do this or that, it's separation. Oh, how am I going to tell them? Okay, I can't. Expand your point of view. Okay? Because even the words I use to explain you the wisdom are not sufficient to transmit the wisdom, because the wisdom is something that you will go through the experience of. Okay? And you go to lots of gurus and masters and self-help group. They're all good. Knowledge and understanding does not resolve the issue. But I understand my problem is that. Okay? Why are you still suffering? And the first reflex in the mind is, what did I not understand? So you keep acknowledging, I need more wisdom. Still doesn't work. Do it again. The first time you got the wisdom, it was good. It need not only be applied in the mind. It required to be applied in the mind and then to sink down in the actual incarnate experience, which is 100 times more packed and dense than mind. So it takes time and patience and exhaustive observation. And a lot of people did this exhaustive observation, and there was still ego process going on. I'm worthless, I'm so bad, I'm so this, I'm so that. And the pain did not go away. Because you had to go to the depths of your pit and contemplate the suffering, not beating yourself up. Numb and letting go of your action on yourself. Breathe. Oh, there is guilt, abandonment, rejection, whatever. You release it. Integration is this training that gives you the ability to stop beating yourself up. It's essential. Integration is this training that gives you the ability to identify when you're self-victimizing yourself. Say, oh, I'm so miserable, I'm so bad, and you say, okay, perfect, what mask is it? It's the mask of the victim. No. It's the mask of the persecutor. Self-persecution. Your ego immediately says, I'm the victim, I'm so bad, and what are you playing? I'm a victim. How you feel guilty? No. You feel abandoned because you persecute yourself. You need to go beyond the first impression. Okay? The obvious not always obvious. Okay? This is why we need training. Okay? And practice. And observe from more than just a single point of view. How do I perceive stuff right at the bottom instead of having to go layer for layer? Because I'm not here looking at this, having to go through layers. I'm also already watching from the other side. Okay? Om Namah Mahavakaya Rim. Om Namah Mahavakaya Rim. I acknowledge that this great observation, and I pay attention to its purifying effect. Okay? And your integration and observation, hence the liberation, will be so much more efficient with so much less effort. But I could not have explained this to you until we went all out. Very dense, very intense. You needed to know through experience that your limited perception is a cause of suffering and a way to keep holding it, because if you don't have your suffering to give meaning to your life, what will you have? Okay? So now we're going to do a practice that will still not be that pleasant. Meditate your insignificance. If you don't have suffering, what will you have to hold on? Nothing. And you will fall. So shut down your eyes and breathe. Go in vacuity. Have nothing. Have nothing more to hold on. Drop in emptiness. And if there is fear, accept the fear. Drop in blackness, darkness, so empty of light, it's darkened and complete obscurity. Although your nervous system still has ears to hear me, imagine a silence damper than absence of sound. Occlude yourself in nothing. When there are thoughts, go back to vacuity. stay in this state, open your eyes. Look at me. Look at a point on the floor. From the point of view of nothing, contemplate your insignificance. Let your identity fall off in the abyss. Close your eyes if you need. Come back here. Make a stupid smile on your face. I don't care if you want it. Isn't it easier when you don't have anything less to prove? Or anything more to prove? It's my English. Now please, Om Namah Mahabakai Rim. Eyes open or closed. This greater point of view out of myself, out of identity and importance. Just a real observation from the point of view of the force of the universe. Om Namah Mahabhagya Him. Om Namah Mahabhagya. Eventually you'll just get the awareness as all things. Unlocalized consciousness, yet you're still here. Vacuity and incarnation at the same time. The Buddha explained, do not think yourself to be alive, to be someone, to have a lifespan, to belong to a people. Don't even yourself believe yourself to be alive or to be someone. But dwell nonetheless on the idea of the eternal and the bliss. While you're still just here. Om Namah Mahabhagya Rim. Rim elevates you to the Lord Shiva and to its real. Rim elevates your energy. You don't elevate your energy. I'm doing a meditation to elevate my energies. You don't elevate your energies. You pay attention to what does. It will work. The Buddha very rarely invoked the names of the Hindu gods because people referred to personified identity. He nonetheless sometimes did. And in the Mahaparinirvana Sutra, he dares call the actual name of Shiva in the way that his people did, Maheshwar. Okay? That's a Hindu name of Shiva. That's, some people say Shiva, some people Mahesh. Okay? Or Maheshwar. And the Buddha says, when you stop perceiving yourself as a person, as a lifespan, even as a soul, don't even perceive you as self, but nonetheless contemplate truth, eternity, and bliss. And that is Maheshwar. Shiva. Rim is the bija mantra of the Shakti of Shiva, okay, of his energy that elevates you. Om Namah Mahabakaya Rim. The Triyambakam, everyone always put the third eye here. The Mahabaka is in the back. Just kick back and relax. Now you'll do something. Imagine your heart. The same way that I am physically in my chair like this, I'm gonna go back and lie down like this. Okay? Now imagine your heart. And from this heart that is here, pull back inside you to go behind your heart, or pull your heart just a bit behind and down. And look how relaxing it is to your heart to just take this, which is always focused in front, and kick back and relax. Yes? Relaxing for the heart. Go in your head, in your brains. Instead of being all here, just kick back in the brains and relax. Here. Just. Okay? So you go back to lie down on your spine. Your attention is not on your chakras in front. Your attention is all that is in front. I kick back and I go down. Alright? And now we're going to have food, and it will be wonderful. Thank you.